Bronx, New York. Follow her voice, a straight dog is nice. She's a pushy broad from the Bronx, oh yeah. Don't be surprised if you wanna listen twice. Make decisions, find the right choice. Know yourself better, find your own voice. It's okay if you need help today, cause everybody needs a little push. From the pushy broad from the Bronx, New York.
Hey, hi, this is Ellen Stewart. Welcome to the Transformation Network, all of you listeners and viewers out there. I am Ellen Stewart, the pushy broad from the Bronx. Welcome to my show, Recovery Recharged, where I share advice and support from experts in addiction and recovery. And today's expert is Straight Talk with the Pushy Broad. I'm going to lay some things down for you based on questions that you have asked me and need answers to. So what I do is I invite you always to send an email to Ellen at Pushy Broad from the Bronx and ask me any question you want, and I will get it on the air. And there's also an ask a question on your website if you want to ask me a question live. Today's Pushy Broad Straight Talk is about getting unstuck and moving into a support situation by telling you and explaining to you not only what life coaching is about, but what recovery coaching is about as well. This is the beginning of the new year. Many of you just want to get out there and do new things and develop yourself. And the most popular question that I get is the first one that Emily's going to ask me. So Emily's our producer, and she's going to give us the questions that you want answers. Emily, good morning. First question.
Good morning. The first question is, what exactly does a life coach do, and how is it different from therapy or counseling?
I get this question a lot. Let me explain to you. First of all, coaching is different from therapy. They both are wonderful ways to move your behavioral health growth forward. Let me reiterate that. Many life coaches work with therapists hand in hand, just like the Pushy Broad, who is a life coach and a recovery coach. I work hand in hand with all of the major therapists, everybody that does behavioral health, licensed clinical social workers, masters in social work, psychologists, psychiatrists. Many of them bring me the clients that I have today. Here's the difference between therapy and coaching. A coach normally focuses on short-term goal-focused solutions, right? A life coach specifically helps you clarify what you want, helps you set your goals, and then take consistent action towards them. A mental health professional usually focuses on healing past wounds and diagnosing or treating mental health conditions, while coaching is about support, structure, and accountability to move you forward. That's the difference. So if a therapist has uncovered something about you or wants you to move forward in a certain way, the coach helps you carry that out. I like to think of myself as a cheerleader and a drill sergeant all at once, which is the Pushy Broad from the Bronx coaching style. Okay? Short-term goal-focused solutions. What am I working on? How do I get it done? Okay, that's what a life coach is. Second question, Emily.
How can a life coach help me figure out what I really want at this stage in my life?
Okay, I don't care what stage you're at. Everybody always thinks I should be farther along, right? Is that you? I'm 25 and I should have done all of this stuff. Or I'm 36 and I should have this by now. Or I am 45 and I am lamenting all the things that didn't happen to me and I didn't do yet, right? Or I'm 55 and I'm so worried about how I have so many regrets in life and how I move on and how I get where I want to be. Or I'm 60 or 70 years old, and I'm really concerned about whether or not I can actually reinvent myself. Are those questions something that is in your mind, is plaguing your day? Well, the Pushy Broad as a life coach would certainly help because a coach in general asks powerful questions to uncover your values, your strengths, your frustrations, and your real desires so that your goals become very clear. And together, a coach will help you explore your options, show you how to gather information, and all of this by starting with small steps forward, positive energy steps. Like I always say, guided steps for giant leaps from a coach. And together, we will help you find not only what you want, but how specifically to execute it. Okay, Emily, next question.
How long does it usually take to see real changes from coaching?
It's not a one size fits all, and you probably know that, right? I would tell you that the most effective way to use coaching is to take it a month at a time. Commit for 30 days. The best way to see some real tangible results can come after the first month, for sure. I see most clients really starting to transform after 90 days, which is 3 months. That's why coaching is so valuable. Short term, goal focused solutions. I don't have to be with you for 5 years in order for you to make a move forward in the right direction. That's what makes coaching such a valuable practice. So, for a deeper, lasting change, normally that takes a few months of consistent coaching. Okay, Emily, next question.
What should I expect in a first coaching session with you?
Okay, everybody wants to know this. And first of all, let me just tell you, if you go to my website, Pushy Broad from the Bronx, it says start a 30-minute free coaching consult. It's on the left-hand side in the middle, right next to my picture. Take a look. You'll see it. You have nothing to lose with the 30-minute session. And that's not the first session that we do together. That's just a hi, how are you? This is who I am. And this is you telling me what you want. So the first session with me, I'm getting to know you. I'm asking you questions. I'm understanding your current situation. And I would be very, very, very clear on asking you to help clarify what you would like to change. And we talk about how coaching works, how I would work with you, what kind of devotion you want to spend, whether you want to talk to me every day, whether you want to talk to me a couple of times a week, whether you want one session a week or more. We tailor a program to specific needs. And then I'll teach you some things. That's also something that happens in my coaching process. I come from a teaching background. I was a high school teacher. I was an adjunct adult education teacher in college. Just to let you know that there are some things you can learn to immediately move forward in one or two very simple steps. And then we'll take it from there. So join me, won't you? Emily, next question.
How do we set goals together, and how will we track my progress over time?
All right, those are really good questions. And they come from the people that either I'm beginning to coach or from people that are sending me notes and messages from the Transformation Network or people that are writing me at ellen@pushybroadfromthebronx.com and asking me what coaching and recovery coaching is all about. So, how do we set goals? And how do we track how we're doing? First of all, these are not my goals for you. A coach really wants you to understand that the goal setting you do is your values, your needs, your progress. It what basically is what matters to you most, what's happening right now that matters to you the most. And then we break those goals into specific, realistic steps with clear time frames, right? We call them SMART goals, meaning we need it to be time sensitive, we need it to be absolutely attainable, and we need to be able to manage this realistically in small steps. Let's take it for instance. Let's say you're struggling with how to find work and you don't know what to do. The Pushy Broad is a career coach as well. We will talk about taking a look at your resume first, reworking a couple of things, making sure that you're on the appropriate media for you, like LinkedIn and those places that people search for you for jobs. We make sure that you're going to the right sites to look for jobs. We're talking about the internet process in general. Little things so that in a timeline, you can get your resume together, do the work you need to do to find where you want to apply, and how you follow up and how you answer interview questions. One thing at a time. In terms of progress, well, progress is tracked session by session. You will review what you did, what got in the way of that, and what needs to be adjusted, right? It's like making yourself a well-oiled machine. And that's what the Pushy Broad cheerleader and drill sergeant is going to do, without judgment or blame or shame or any of those things. Like, here's our goal. Let's see how we can tackle it. Let's see what we did this week. Let's see what we can do better. Let's see what we've already done. That's fabulous. Okay? So that's how goals are set, and that's how we track our progress. Next question.
What if I don't know what my goals are yet? I just know I feel stuck or unhappy.
So many people say that to me, and I just keep telling them, as far as I'm concerned, you've hit a wall, and that's fine. I call it the cycle of suck. I have always called it that. It's my own little nickname for what's happening with you. You don't know where to go. You don't know where to do. You're absolutely stuck. You're totally paralyzed. And all you know is you're not happy. I get it. Not knowing your goals is actually a really good place to start sometimes, because the feeling of being stuck becomes the first focus. I will help you explore what's draining you and adversely what lights you up, and what small experiments you can try to start moving again. Small steps, baby steps, right? Remember, a journey begins with 1,000 steps, begins with the first step. It's never too late to change. I have clients from 13 to 86, and I know you fit into that category somewhere. So it's never too late to learn how to move forward, but with a coach, a guiding hand offering you support. Let's do this together. Okay, Emily, next question.
How do you hold clients accountable without making them feel judged or pressured?
That's one of the most popular questions I get. And that's also one of the biggest reasons why people walk away from therapists or coaches, because they feel that they can't live up to the expectations of the mental health provider. They feel ashamed that they didn't do the assignment that they were set out to do, and they feel ashamed to tell their coach or their counselor because they're thinking that person, that professional person, will judge them and think less of them and shame them for it. Nothing could be further from the truth. Therapists, as well as coaches like the Pushy Broad, want you to understand that your accountability rests with you. What you and what you don't do all determines how you move forward. You know, I tell everybody, if you're living in an apartment and you turn the light on and you don't pay the bill, the light isn't going to go on. Does somebody have to tell you to pay the electric bill? Yeah. The electric company sends you a bill or sends you an email and you have to pay it, right? It's not like you have to take all of this responsibility on yourself. However, the only person that is accountable for your electricity is you if you pay the bill. So you either have it or you don't have it. Once you understand that you are in the driver's seat, you're the one driving. You put your foot on the gas, you go. You put your foot on the brake, guess what? You stop. Once you understand that the power rests with you and not with anybody else telling you to, then it's not accountability at all. It's actually taking care of yourself, understanding that you can move in a way that's good for you. And the more you understand that, the more you do, it will be good for you. People tend to repeat things that are good for them. So I'm here to support you honestly and with follow through, not shame or criticism, not judgment. I help you look at how you're living your life with curiosity, to take yourself out of the play, put yourself in the audience, and to dissect what's worked, what hasn't worked, and what to try to do next. So you feel empowered, not blamed. Think about that. Next question.
How do I know if life coaching is really working for me or if it's not a good fit?
Good question. There are some therapists out there that just don't click with you. There are some coaches out there that don't. Maybe you don't like the pushy, broad approach, which is upfront, tell it like it is, biggest cheerleader for you in the room, and biggest drill sergeant when I know that you can move forward in a way that's exciting and adventurous. But coaching works for you when you can notice clearer thinking and much more consistent action and gradual changes in your results and even your mindset, right? Change your thought process, change your life. Maybe you no longer feel stuck. Maybe in the beginning you've got some sessions with no movement, but it's important to talk openly with the coach, like myself, to either adjust the approach or decide on a different kind of support. You will decide, you will know. And just because one coach or one therapist isn't doing it for you doesn't mean there aren't millions out there who will. The biggest thing here is don't give up. You can't do it all alone. You already know that process doesn't work. So let's try something new. Okay? Next question.
How can you help me with my recovery today, starting from where I am right now?
Well, one of the biggest niches I have found in my industry is to work in recovery, simply because I'm in recovery myself. I have 40 years clean and sober. I've worked for 21 years in the behavioral health addiction field, including working for some major treatment centers around the country. So, how can I help you? I can help you because number one, I know where you are coming from. Wherever you are, I have already been there. I understand what it feels. And a recovery coach also meets you exactly where you are at. Whether you're just thinking about change, whether you are newly sober, whether you're starting again after a setback, or whether or not you are still using. I want to help you. Together, we can identify risks, we can push for support, and we can give you one or two concrete actions you can take today to strengthen your recovery. Next questions?
What does recovery look like for someone like me, not just in theory, but in daily life?
You know, that question is so near and dear to my heart because the major reason I became a recovery coach was to answer that question. I saw so many people go into treatment, spend a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, So many people go into treatment and then when they came out of treatment, not know what to do. The simplest things. They did not know what to do when they got into the real world because recovery and treatment is a bubble. You go there, and it's pretty easy in many ways to stay clean and sober when you have your meals taken care of, when there's no access to drugs or alcohol at all, when people are watching you, taking care of you. You are going to therapy every single day. You are talking to other people that are also clean and sober. You have medication if or when you need it because there is a facility in the treatment center that will take care of you. You have doctors follow up, nurses follow up, physical activity there for you. It really is a glorious bubble to take you out of the outside world and put you in a world that will protect you from the green-eyed monster we know as addiction. But when you come out of that protection, how do you function? Because the real world is there no matter what, and the real world is not adapting to you, which means you have to adapt to the real world. And that's why a coach, especially a recovery coach, is here to hold your hand. So you honestly feel like you're not doing this alone. And I have clients all over the world. My virtual support for someone in early recovery is daily. I'm working with you on a daily basis. Recovery is highly individual, but it does usually involve a daily structure of support that supports sobriety, emotional stability, and mostly connection with others so that we can incorporate a schedule that includes routines, support meetings, coaching sessions, healthy activities, and also specific tools for dealing with stress and craving. I will endeavor to help you be strong one day at a time. Okay, Emily, next question.
What should I expect from working with a recovery coach alongside or instead of treatment or therapy?
Okay. I believe in all of those things. I believe in recovery treatment. I really do. Because if you are struggling, I need you to know that there's a perfect way to kick off your recovery. I have had the privilege of working with deluxe treatment centers in this country, but I also know a great deal of them, and I have always respected them for the outstanding work that I do in allowing people the luxury of getting clean and sober without worrying about it. It is a wonderful tool. And I recommend treatment highly, but not everybody wants to go. Not everybody can take that time away, and not everybody can afford it, or not everybody has insurance to cover it. So the next step is to look at outpatient care and, of course, a therapy of some kind. I've always believed in therapy. It has worked for me personally as a young adult and has continued forward to help me make major changes in my life. Therapy services are available to everybody to help clean out the cobwebs and reconcile your past and help you with your diagnosis. So these things are important, which is why half of my referrals come from treatment centers and therapists because nobody can do it alone. You need specific recovery support. And a recovery person really specializes in addiction. That's the biggest thing. So when you come out of treatment, you seek a recovery coach. When you're working with a therapist who wants to reinforce certain things for you on a daily basis, they will recommend a recovery coach. I can help you build a sober routine, navigate your triggers, connect with resources, and stay engaged in your recovery plan. That's how specific my work is as a recovery coach. So go to pushybroadfromthebronx.com, make an appointment for a free consultation, either for me as a life coach, a parent coach, because I work with parents, or a recovery coach. Jessica, Emily, next question.
How do you support me if I have a setback or relapse? Will you be disappointed in me?
I could never be disappointed in anyone for trying to do the right thing for themselves. That's what this is about. A good recovery coach expects that setbacks are possible, and I respond with honesty, compassion, and a focus on daily life. I have 40 years clean and sober, but I relapsed in the beginning of my recovery and got right back up on that horse and said, okay, I'm done. This conversation with you in terms of a relapse will center on what happened, what you learned, and what needs to change in your plan. Not about shaming you or giving up. Why would I do that? I've been where you are. Shame, guilt, regret, all of those things are useless, wasted emotions. It's about taking yourself out of the drama, sitting yourself up and saying, okay, I'm starting again. And my motto has always been for all my clients, as long as you are alive, there is hope. So let's try again. You never know. Next question, please.
How do you help clients manage cravings, triggers, and high-risk situations in real time?
Well, one-on-one coaching helps that a lot, but I'll work with you to identify your triggers and then create for you practical coping skills and a what-if plan to prevent high-risk situations and moments. You'll have a built-in support system, people, places, and tools that you can reach out quickly when cravings hit. Okay, we've got time for one more question. Let's try the last one, please.
How can coaching help me rebuild my life, relationships, work, and a sense of purpose after addiction?
I think coaching has been such a valuable tool, and I use a coach myself. Recovery coaching helps you look beyond not just using and build towards a meaningful life that makes sobriety really worth protecting. You work on repairing, reshaping relationships. You work on exploring work or service that fits your values and recovering and rediscovering a sense of direction and purpose. Come join the Pushy Broad, pushybroadfromthebronx.com. Make an appointment for a free consultation. New year, new you. This is the Pushy Broad saying thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This is Ellen Stewart, the Pushy Broad from the Bronx, saying thanks for listening, and remember, everybody needs a little push.
From the pushy broad from the Bronx, New York.